So welcome this afternoon to our Bellabaci Facial Cupping training. So it is a live demo, so I'm going to go down to my model in a second where she's lying in front of me. Just to give you an idea though, we do have quite a couple of people registered that hasn't joined yet. So in between, I might just pause a little bit, let someone in from the waiting room. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start. Please feel free, if you do have any questions, to just unmute yourself and ask them, or put them on the chat box. I'll have a look at that as well as we go through the training today. But we're going to go ahead and jump straight into what it really is about: cupping and working on the face with your cups. So before I actually do the cupping, I want to show you the 3 cups or facial cups that we do offer. So first, which is probably our most well-known as well, is your facial cup. This is available in a soft and a hard strength cup. You'll use your soft strength for at least 4 weeks or a client at home before you upgrade to your hard strength cup. This is ideal for any type of client, any type of face, and you can use it all over the face. Then you've got your Bambino cup, and you'll see it's a tiny bit shorter, but most importantly, it can squeeze a little bit flatter, which actually means it can go closer to the eye area. So your Bambino is specialized for the eye area, lip area, your nasolabial fold, and so more. Also, you can great to use on a small face. And this one is also available in soft and hard strength. And then, if you haven't seen it yet, this is the first time you will. So we've recently launched our Bellabaci Facial Cup. And so this, ideally, you'll see is quite, let me just compare it to the facial cup for you. It's quite smaller, so perfect for close to the eyes, specifically the brow lift area, as well as on the lips. So we'll play around with that a little bit today as well. And so now I'm going to go and show you my model. There we go. So just excuse me while I am just realigning the camera. Okay, everyone, can you see well? If you can't, just let me know. So I've actually already applied the Skin Get Alive balm to my client. And of course, when it comes to the facial, the oils that you can choose from is your Skin Get Alive oil or balm from your Genie. You can also do your not least is your Stress No More. So it would be pink, yellow, just to also show you the colors: pink, yellow, and purple, as well as then the maroon and the gold. The multivitamin. Okay, here we go. Someone just entered. Let me just admit them into the training. There we go. Full training with our facial and our Bambino cup, and I'll show you a little bit about the Bellabaci as well. And so with the facial cup, I find it's always your go-to to start with. And basically with your facial movement, there's about 5 movements plus hello, and then I call them your hello and your God. So your first movement is basically your hello. So you're going to work from the third eye, and you're going to pull upwards. And the way you're going to get your suction is simply squeeze your cup, place it on the skin, leave it, and then you will have your suction. On the face, it's important that we don't leave the cup standing still. So as soon as I put it down and I get my suction, I start moving my cup. Now, your other hand can certainly support the skin. I generally try to support the skin as close to where I'm cupping, or then on the side of where you're cupping. All right, so again, and this movement you'll do 3 times. Squeeze, place it on the third eye and pull upwards. And when you release, you can either move into the hairline, or you can squeeze the cup and just release. So now I have said my hello. I'm not going to say hello again to my client, and we're going to go straight into our first cupping movement, which is your draining movement. So again, I'm going to start on my third eye, but this time I'm going to move out towards the side. And with that being said, whenever you move upwards, you'll see that I kind of squeeze my cup like that when I'm going up, and when I'm going to the side, I simply turn it. When you make the cup a little bit flatter, it just fits easier into the direction of what you're going. Now, each client's forehead specifically is probably the hardest part to do, but each client is also different in how many pathways that you're going to fit in. If you want to ask a question, please feel free to ask, but if not, please put yourself just on mute. All right, so then the amount of pathways is going to depend on your client's forehead, on your client's cheek, on her specific face. But we'll go from the third eye over to the temple. So that's your first movement, and we're going to do the draining all the way down the face, underneath the eye, to the side of the face. It's quite easy to see when you've got the suction, and you also feel where you've got the suction, and you're more than welcome to change your other hand's position. In this case, for me, it's my less dominant hand, is my left, from where it will be supporting. And if you lose suction, just grab it again and move towards the side of the face. And that's your first movement. Now, each pathway, I've just done one of each pathway. You can do up to 4 times. So just to show you another one. Contraindications to facial cupping would be if your client has had Botox or fillers in the last 5 days. Otherwise, you can do the treatment. Active acne, we don't want to work over that. If your client has taken any blood thinning medication, aspirin, in the last 5 hours, specifically aspirin, because there will be a cup kiss present. So specifically if they don't want the cup kiss, and we'll talk about the cup kiss in a minute. Dermatitis or anything that is contagious, eczema, weeping eczema, rosacea, very, very sensitive skin you want to avoid, although you can perform the treatment on if your client is slightly sensitive, and you'll use your facial cup for that. So your next movement is going to be your fish bites. And so I'm using the exact same pathways, and you can do this 4 to 6 times. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze and release my cup as I move along. Now, if you do struggle with your draining movement on the forehead, you can, just on the forehead, change your draining movement into the fish bite. And so then you'll basically do fish bite on the forehead, draining on the rest of the face, and come back and do another fish bite on the forehead. So, yeah, indication. I saw someone messaged something about the indication, so let me just cover that. You know, really, quite honestly, every client that comes to you, even if it's for a regular facial or a massage, skin. And so I do think anyone do a Bellabaci cupping massage within the facial. However, indications would be sallow skin, even sinus. It's great for that. If your skin is luster lacking, or collagen or elastin that you could see is reduced, fine lines and wrinkles, puffy eyes, broken capillaries. And again, I'm going to say, even if they just want a healthy, glowing skin, that really is ideal to use. So I just quickly want to use the Bambino also on the fish bite, just to show you the different movements with them there. And also the way you hold your cup. So I'm holding my cup as I would generally, but in some of the movements that you'll see, I'll change up a little bit, and it's purely for the camera. So as long as you are comfortable with the cup, the easiest way really is to hold it almost like you would hold a pencil. If you need a little bit more support, or you can also like that, but for the camera, I'm just moving my hand slightly to the side, and it's probably both as comfortable as the other. but just to show you a different movement. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Someone just joined us as well. So I'm busy doing the fish bite movement now. And as you see, I just move my hand across, which is more comfortable for me to support. If you've just joined us, just make sure that you're on mute, please. Unless you want to ask a question, please, by all means, go ahead and ask. All right, so my next movement is going to be my small circles. And so I'm literally just, and again, you can choose between your cups here, but I'm just going to use my facial cup. And I'm just going to do small circles. It's almost like a little spiral. And if you lose suction, please just go ahead and grab suction again. Your alternate hand, or your non-working hand in this case, will always provide support for you. And you see where I lose suction, I just go ahead and grab it again. Okay, so I would generally, if it's a first-time client, I would certainly start with 4 and work my way up to 6 just to see how the skin also reacts to it. And as you can see, I'm doing all of my movements on my client's right side. Generally, I would actually start with the left side in a treatment as well. This is just because the camera is on the right. But we finish one side of the face completely, and then it's a great way to also show the client what you have achieved in this one session. Is there anyone that does have any questions that I didn't perhaps see in the chat? Okay. So then our last movement is called your big circles. So quite honestly, there's probably only one of them that's really a circle, but that's the idea that we're going to flow from the top of the face down. So I'm going to start on my third eye, and I'm going to make one big. And again, you can do this 4 to 6 times. I find my client's forehead is a little bit small, so I'm struggling with the facial cup to do the big circle. So I've just swapped over to my Bambino, and that does seem to work a lot easier. Now I'm going to do, underneath the eye, I'm going to do a little triangle. So I'm going to go corner from the corner of the eye out to my temple, to my zygomaticus, and back into the corner of the eye. Okay, so I squeeze my cup in the air, place it. From the corner of the eye, I'm going to go to my temple. I just lost my, start over wherever you lose suction. So for instance, if I lose it here, I just grab suction again, move to the temple, cheekbone, back to the corner of the eye. And that is your movement. From there, I'm going to go into your nasolabial folger. And so for some people, it would be more of a straight line, but you can also do a nice C curve of that. And so I'm going to start with my Bambino cup, but I also want to show you the Bellabaci cup on this one. So I'm doing a nice C, just supporting my client's skin on the side. Now, just to show you the Bellabaci cup as well, specifically for like this lines that we get here, I'm just going to support, squeeze my Bellabaci cup, and I'm just going to go up and down on that one a little bit. And again, 4 to 6 times, or 4 to 6 pathways on each area. You don't want to over-treat a client as well, which brings me back to your cup kiss. So what is a cup kiss? A cup kiss shows that stagnation has been moved from a deeper layer to a more superficial layer. However, on the face, most of our clients don't want to have a cup kiss. It is that bluish mark. It lasts about 3 to 7 days, depending on the stagnation that there is for the client. But as long as you keep the cup moving on the face, and also you'll feel the heat. When the face becomes really hot, you want to reduce the cup strength a little bit, or even less cupping. All right. So I've just done it on that, but you can also then incorporate it on the actual lip area. Just to reduce that fine lines and wrinkles that a client might be experiencing. You could also use the cup, this one and the Bambino, actually, you can go directly over the lips as well, to stimulate the collagen elastin, to help to plump up the lips, but also help for lipstick bleeding lines, etc. All right, so, and then from that, so remember, big circle wise was the forehead first, then I did the triangle here underneath the eye, then we did the C shape around the mouth, and specifically for that deep nasolabial fold. And from there, you're going to go, and I'm just going to turn my client's head slightly. And so I'm going to work here on my TMJ. So specifically great for clients that talk a lot, or even clients that chew a lot of gum. And I'm just going to do a nice circle in that area. And again, you can just hold and support with your non-dominant hand, or the hand that is not currently cupping. Again, 4 to 6, and this is great to relieve that tension in this area. From there, I'm also talking a lot between each movement, because I don't want to give my client a cup kiss. I lift my cup, but you can actually try and go in from one movement into the other. For example, if I just go back to my TMJ movement here, which is a circle just underneath the ear, basically, I can just continue and move straight over the chin and do a complete jawline circle. And again, you can do that 4 to 6 times. From there, you're going to basically go back, and we're going to do draining. And this is how you will basically then start ending off this first side. So if you are struggling and you are losing some, there's 3 things that you can look at. Number 1, do you have enough oil, which it would be, to slow down the movement and also reduce the amount of tissue that you have in your cup, and that will also assist with the movements and reduce the amount of times that you lose suction. Okay, I do just want to also quickly show you with the Bambino cup, you can really do nice work around the eyes as well. I quickly showed around the mouth earlier. But again, you can work on these frown lines that we often get on the forehead. Actually, maybe I should turn that way a little bit so that you can see. You can work over that. You can also work over the brow bone. And again, you can just squeeze it and move to the side. And you can also pull up. And of course, below the eye, you can also go quite close to the eye. And we're not stretching the skin. We're doing the fibroblast cells, which stimulate your collagen and elastin production, which is obviously part of why it's such good results. And now will be the time that you can actually show your client the difference. So actually, let me loosen my camera there, and then I can go a little bit closer. Okay. Whoops, there, I lost everyone. I pressed the wrong button. So perhaps it would be better to change over and show you like this. Let's do it like that. Okay, so now you can actually show your client after, and do remember, I did not complete a full treatment today. I did 1 or 2 of each pathways with a lot of talk in between. When you do the treatment, you'll do 4 to 6 pathways, about 4 with a first-time client. And so you can also see with my client, I hope you can see it via the camera, but on the cheekbone here, this is slightly more plump. And even this line that I did work a little bit on, not even a lot, is slightly less defined as on the other side. And then, of course, you can start seeing the pinkishness, which is just showing you that the circulation has been improved on that area. Okay, so let me pop you back into the camera hold here. Okay, so let me quickly see, is there any other messages that I might have missed? Or is there any questions that you might have? Because what you would now do in a facial treatment is you would complete the other side of this massage treatment. And so someone asked, when would you incorporate this into a facial? So there's basically 3 places that you can incorporate this into. Either your cleanser, then you'll spend about 1 minute or 2 minutes on it. Your exfoliator, which would have to be something like an enzyme exfoliator, no granules, because then it doesn't have that, it can't grab the skin. It doesn't seal with the skin. And thirdly would be in your massage. And this is certainly where I would recommend you using this. You spend about 5 to 10 minutes on it. Definitely 5 minutes for a first-time client. You can upgrade, or once I upgrade, you can graduate your client to more time with this cup specifically. The longer they do the treatment, it's simply that you don't have a cup kiss in your first treatment, and first seeing how the client's skin reacts to it. I do find because you spend a little bit more time, your results is better, but also your client is also more relaxed, and with the oils working with it, it just gives you better results in that time. I don't see any other questions. Tuesday, maybe, I'm sure you've joined. I didn't actually see your name, but I'm sure you've joined. Do you have anything else for me? I love putting you on the spot.
I do not. I do not.
Perfect. Then I've seen you in a lot of trainings, I know, because you always join. But yeah, so if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to either ask in the chat. I'm also going to upload this video onto our Facebook and YouTube pages so that you can go rewatch it. Please comment on there if something pops up. I know quite often after you've done the training, something pops up and you think, oh, I should have asked this. So then that's definitely a space where you can go. Otherwise, please reach out to us. If you are in the US, please reach out to Universal companies that will also be able to assist you. But if there isn't any other questions, then that is our training in a nutshell today. So thank you so much for joining, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next training in early October.
Thank you, Charisma.
Thank you. Thanks, Suzanne. Have a wonderful day.